Welcome to the Mugiwara Sketches YouTube channel, buddy. Here on this channel, we provide a favorite nest for anime fans like you. Join us in our funny sketch videos that contain reviews and summaries of various anime. Here, you'll find different genres, diverse characters, and hourly stories. Everything is here. Let's explore the colorful and story-filled world of anime together. Subscribe now and join us on this joyful journey. In today's video, we've got an exciting topic to discuss: the ongoing battles in Chapter 1091 that are setting the stage for some epic power scaling debates in the One Piece world. So, if you're ready to dive deep into the action, hit that subscribe button and let's get started. When certain One Piece events happen, fans can see how the power structure works. Sometimes, it's as easy as one character beating another to show who's in charge. There are also more subtle examples of figures holding their own against stronger opponents or doing similarly impressive feats of strength, speed, durability, etc. Fans will always use it to argue about who is the best and who could beat who in a fight. This is what a fight shonen is all about. The most recent chapters of One Piece have given these points a lot of good things to talk about. There are fights between Sentomaru and Kizaru, Zoro and Lucci, and Luffy and Kizaru again. These fights are between Sentomaru and 4 of the most powerful characters in the series. There are many ways to make sense of what's happening on screen and guess what will happen next. Even if it's only important for the rest of the Egghead arc, these different points of view can be used to argue about who's the best at what. Part 1. Do Sentomaru and Kizaru have the world's best defense? In Chapter 1090, Sentomaru gave the first piece of power scaling bait. He said that his defense was the world's strongest. This refers back to something Sentomaru said in Chapter 511, Axe Carrying Sentomaru. Normally, it would sound like the silly bragging of a weaker person. But when he blocked one of Admiral Kizaru's kicks, it proved he was right. Fans thought that what Sentomaru said about his defense was true because of what he did. Even if he isn't a strong fighter, it would make sense for him to be good at something, like defense, that he isn't good at other things. But in Chapter 1091, Sentomaru's last line of defense was called into question. He not only got past Sentomaru's guard and killed him, but he also said that his defense was just as tough. This part could say a lot about the skills of both of these people. Even though Sentomaru lost, this chapter could show how good his defense is. If Kizaru is ready to say that his guarding is as good as the bodyguards, Luffy's fight with him could be the real test of how tough he is. This could also mean that Kizaru is protecting himself in a way that Sentomaru doesn't like, moving at the speed of light, covering himself in Conqueror's Haki, etc. Kizaru's defense may even be better, but he has never shown that. In either case, Sentomaru is a good way to measure how strong and durable something is. Kizaru's ability to break through this last line of defense could also show how hard he hits. It would mean that the Admiral's laser weapons will always do a lot of damage to someone who isn't as good at blocking. In other words, everyone, even Luffy, can be hurt by Kizaru's strikes. Part 2. Did the Straw Hat Pirates become 100 times stronger between Sabaody and Egghead? This line refers to what happened during the Sabaody Archipelago arc. Shaki said at the time that Silver's Rayleigh was 100 times stronger than the new pirates on Sabaody, which were the Straw Hats. This was true because the Dark King could fight just as well as Kizaru, and he was just about to kill Zoro and the rest of the gang. Luffy used a quote from Shaki to show that he was ready to fight the Admiral on his own. Power scalers might disagree about whether or not the part that says 100 times stronger can be taken literally. If it were about bounties, the Straw Hats as a group are only worth about 11 times what they were at Sabaody. Obviously, if Shaki's claim about a pirate's worth in berries was true, Rayleigh would have been worth 6 times more than the former king of the pirates. So, we need a different way to figure out how powerful the Straw Hats are right now. In any case, Luffy's guess is probably not right. Whether 100 times is an exaggeration or an understatement, the Straw Hat captain probably didn't go out of his way to figure it out. He probably only meant it as a point of reference. Still, you could easily say that some Straw Hats are at least 100 times stronger now than they were 2 years ago. This is easy to say about Luffy because his growth has been shown on screen every time there has been a time skip. One could also say this about Zoro, Sanji, Nami, and Nico Robin, who all got big power boosts before and after going to the New World. The rest of the Straw Hats have also gained power, though it might be a stretch to say that they have done so 100 times over. Part 3. What other power scale bait was in Chapter 1091? Zoro's present matchup is also sure to spark a lot of talk about power. While Luffy fights the Admiral, his swordsman will face Rob Lucci. The Cypher Pole spy was easy for Luffy to deal with, but he might be seen as a tough opponent for the pirate hunter. How Zoro's strength stacks up against that of his captain is likely to be discussed more after this fight. People will also argue about where Lucci sits in the order of power in the One Piece world. If he fights Zoro in this match, some people will put him above King and others will say he isn't that great. In this fight, every little clash, stop, and hit will add fuel to the fire. One could say the same thing about Luffy's fight with Kizaru. If he has trouble beating the Admiral, people will argue about whether or not his win over Kaido was real. Someone will eventually say that Kizaru's defense is similar to Sentomaru's, and then the topic will change to the Lucci argument. From there, the argument could keep going around and around forever. Fans of One Piece will have time to argue about who is better until new chapters show more proof. When these chapters come out, the cycle will continue because there will be new proof. Still, chapters 1090 and 1091 added some strong evidence to the cases. After this, the series will probably slow down for a while. As we wrap up this discussion, we want to hear from you, our amazing viewers. What are your thoughts on these battles and the power scaling debates they've sparked? Share your opinions in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed the video, please support us by liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell to stay updated with our One Piece community. Thank you very much for visiting the Mugiwara Sketches YouTube channel, buddy. We hope you enjoy our funny sketch videos and anime reviews. Don't forget to subscribe to continue joining us on our joyful journey in the world of anime. If you have any wishes, questions, or suggestions for our next videos, feel free to express your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for your support, and until we meet again. See you next time, buddy.